Whether a construction company is a large corporation or a small mom-and-pop operation, managing employees will be both challenging and important, if not the most important aspect of the business. While the larger companies can afford an entire human resource department, a legal department, an army of project managers, safety people, the smaller guys have to be resourceful. Like we've said before, rarely is the problem a lack of resources, but rather a lack of resourcefulness. With all that being said, let's talk about some ways to manage your employees as efficiently as possible. First, know the laws. As an employer, there's federal and state laws related to both hiring and firing employees that have to be taken seriously. Now note, each state can be a bit different, so be sure and research the specific guidelines for your location before you hire or fire anybody. In addition, there's rules and regulations pertaining to the workplace environment. We've all heard the stories. We should be well aware of the consequences in taking this too lightly. So be smart. Don't overlook the importance of keeping both your office and job site a healthy atmosphere. Heck, as a leader, you should already be keeping a close eye on the morale of your team. And needless to say, the construction industry has already placed a significant emphasis on safety. There are OSHA guidelines that must be implemented and strictly followed. The OSHA website is a resource you should be very familiar with, and check it on a periodic basis to learn about new and updated regulations. And on a final note about laws, there are laws related to compensation, health insurance, payroll, and other smaller matters that require your full attention. Next up, hire right. Any successful construction business owner will tell you that taking the time and putting in the due diligence to find the right person for the job will save you all types of headache further down the road. You might think you know who you're hiring, but you never know for sure. Don't learn the hard way. How many times have you heard the stories or even had the experience firsthand when the rookie doesn't show up the morning of the big job? Of course, you can't prevent mishaps like this happening entirely. There's always surprises, but carefully interviewing and checking resources will pay off. We like to think of hiring as a skill. The more experience you have with it, the better you get. So get out there, shake some hands, and ask some questions, and go with your gut. Due diligence. Like we already mentioned, due diligence should be a regular habit for every construction business owner. If you're lazy and don't want to do your homework, well, there's going to be consequences. We can assure you. Remember what your mama always said, shortcuts make for long delays. Spend a few bucks, take time to perform background checks, call previous employers, and call those personal references. We find that few contractors actually follow through with this, and we've personally seen it come back to bite them. Set expectations, and be clear about your expectations. The earlier you set these expectations with both yourself and the new employee, the better. Start it with the job interview. If you expect them to be available to potentially work nights and weekends, tell them. Provide a written description of their roles and responsibilities. It can't get much clearer than that. And all employees should be very well aware of any of your zero tolerance policies, such as showing up at the job site under the influence of drugs or alcohol. As a leader, it's your responsibility to establish expectations as clearly and as early as possible. This one's on you. Want to view the entire lesson as well as all of the other lessons included in this course? Visit heavyape.com and use the coupon code E&C to get 25% off.